People, I've gotten the question before, why do I downtune? So let's talk about it. And plus, I'm going to give you a few pros and cons of why we should or shouldn't downtune. Stay tuned. What is up, guys? Welcome to Hero Bass, a place where we talk about bass gear, music related topics. My name is Norm, and I hope you guys are doing awesomely well. Today we're going to be talking about why do I downtune. I've gotten a few questions about string gauges, about tuning in general on the channel and out of the channel and whatnot. And I just wanted to address why I downtune. If you notice, you can check the video right over here about my Music Master Ray Rocky. It's my number one bass, and what I do with this bass pretty much is I have a different set of strings on it. This is an Ernie ball, that package right over there. A set of strings of 5, and I toss the high G, and I just keep the low gauges. These would be the gauges that I'm using currently. There's a lot of reasons that I downtune. First of all, I was just trying to imitate the sound of my favorite band, Pillar. 5, almost 6 years ago, they released this record called One Love Revolution, and they were tuning in B flat. So I wanted to achieve that. But before arriving there, because of some of their records, old records, they were tuned to C. So I was when I started playing standard. A few years into playing, I started trying alternate tunings and whatnot. And I had my P bass, my original P bass. I had it strung with D, A, E, and B, which is that tuning of 5 string without the G. I tried that for a little bit. Didn't get too used to it, but then afterwards I kept trying different tunings. I was playing for a few years, whole step down, and then everything was down. I had my low D and whatnot. Mainly I play a lot of worship stuff. I was finding myself using those low tunings a lot more than I would actually thought. And then I started noticing some of the keys I was playing in really benefit from what I was doing. So I just kept going on with it. To this day, I still take this bass, which is downtuned, and I play pretty much everything here. Pros and cons at the same time is that you have to transpose everything the way you understand it or the way you learned it originally, right? So let's say if you play something in C, this would be your position right over here, right? Now my C's over here, right? So that just takes a little getting used to. But yeah, so one of the pros that I find is that it gives me different lower notes than usual. It gives me more options on the low register of the instrument. Now, one of the cons about it is that I lose my high notes. My highest note right now is this C over here, which in a standard bass, if I was playing this in standard, it would be an E. It takes away some of those high notes, but I find myself playing more on the low register because I have all this low end that's there that was not present when this bass was in standard tuning. One of the many reasons I love downtuning is because it challenges me to think differently. It makes me rearrange everything that I just know. It makes me play scales differently. I have to play everything differently pretty much. Another pro that I really find that I adore about this is that I don't consider myself a 5-string player. I prefer the 4-string, but I do have the 5-string. I like to do a lot of chordal stuff because the way the strings are set up and all that stuff. I'm a 4-string player, and I understand that. Another one of the pros is gives me something less to think about. Gives me something less to work with. Meaning that if I have an extra string, Sometimes you're doing a fast passage or whatnot, and some strings might buzz, or you might hit one by mistake and it's buzzing. I don't have to worry too much about that in a 4-string because I can control it a lot better. Now, some of the cons about this is that money-wise, you have to. It's a different beast. You just don't go to your regular guitar store and buy the same old pack of strings you normally buy. The thickness of the strings is very different to the thickness of the strings of a regular standard tuning bass. And it takes a bit of getting used to it. Another thing that might not be so good in certain cases is that your bass is going to need a setup. Because you will need to have your instrument set up no matter what. Anything below, like whole step, you're going to have your instrument set up professionally. And I mean that in the sense of investing money. And that's it for my pros and cons. There's a lot of benefits to it, like we say, a lot of pros to it. And there's some cons to it, but depending on your situation, I would say, that's how you're going to weigh if you need to go down to it or not. I just wanted to give you guys answer that question that was asked previously in terms of string gauge and in terms of all of this stuff. I do work with standard tuning. Don't get me wrong, standard tuning is something I enjoy a lot, and I do practice a lot of stuff in standard tuning. So guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please hit us with a like, hit that share button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the support to Hero Bass. It's greatly appreciated. I'm amazed of how much this channel keeps growing. Again, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, check us out at HeroBass.com. Also on Instagram at HeroBassNorb, and we will be seeing you guys, in the next one.